Let's now turn back to AI and how it's boosting the economy and stock market. Bas Kooijman is DHF, joining us from DHF Capital, I should say. Good to have you back on the show. So, of course, we know that what's going on with that AI thematic at the moment, how that's playing out on Wall Street in particular, talk of an AI bubble having emerged. I mean, are you in that camp that perhaps you think this has gone too far, too quickly?
Well, it went very quickly for sure. I would say in 2023, the world got to know AI through ChatGPT and more of user cases. And of course, now we are just a few years later seeing that 1/3 of the stock market is actually part of the whole AI ecosystem. I think that it went very quick. On the other side, we also see that there is not really a stop to it anymore. I think it's a new normal, and more companies are investing. 2024, we saw about $250 billion invested in AI. This year, about 350 expected to end up with 375 billion. And I think next year will hold a 500 plus number there.
In fact, we had greater detail just in those quarterly earnings results this morning from, we got Microsoft, Meta, and also Alphabet. Did you have a good look at those numbers and what you saw there, particularly in relation to CapEx?
Well, what I can say is that all those companies have chosen to invest way more in capex than they did in the years before. A lot of companies were still using hosted services. A lot of companies did not decide to invest in data centers itself. And over the whole board, we are seeing everyone starting to invest in their own infrastructure, in their own specific GPUs, in their own AI learning models. And therefore not relying that much anymore on suppliers. So we see huge investment on the hardware side.
All right. Now, of course, we're yet to hear from NVIDIA in terms of earnings, but I mean, that is front and center of what we're seeing in AI at the moment. In fact, it's just having ticked over to $5 trillion in market capitalization. Is that likely to continue to dictate what we're seeing in that market?
Oh, it's slightly more volatile after all the announcements of earlier this week. But I would say that, yeah, the road is still up for NVIDIA investing large amounts, about 5 billion annually expected to invest as announced. So honestly, the stock of this, the price of this stock, sorry, is on the high side. And definitely can have some volatility, but the trend is still strongly up with all the investment plans and hardware they have in storage for us.
So, Bas, when we talk about AI and certainly those AI-related firms, immediately we think of those listed on Wall Street, the likes of NVIDIA and the other mega cap tech stocks. But is this more than just what we're seeing in the United States? How is it playing out for the rest of the world at the moment?
Well, it's a worldwide phenomenon. Of course, you have a lot of focus in the news on the US side. China is, of course, not letting this trend go. Worldwide, we see a lot of investments in AI. Last year, about 55% of companies had some form of AI, and this year it's 73%. So basically, in almost every company, small and big, AI is starting to take having a certain place in the workforce. Is it just a newsletter made by ChatGPT or fully automated AI agents?
Now, we look at how AI actually affects and moves an economy, not just what we're seeing on the stock market there. A lot of this comes down to productivity, improved productivity, and that's certainly an issue here that we're dealing with in Australia. So how do you see that working?
Well, I think it adds a lot more value to companies when they look at value creation and they are looking at the amount of work being done per hour. I would say that AI is helping us with the efficiency of our work. In 2023, the biggest question we always got was like, is this going to affect jobs? Is this going to create a big layoff in a lot of companies? And of course, for certain repetitive tasks that can be automated, we could automate them already for years, but from automation to AI automation, it just brings it to that next step. But on the other side, everyone who does work with AI, they are very likely to see their job just evolve and become more efficient and use AI for the better.
So, as an investor, where do you want to be when you're talking about how to get into the AI thematic?
Well, at the moment, a lot of people investing in AI, of course, go for the tech side, for the semiconductors, for the energy, for the data centers, and for the technology of different models. We see a lot of collaborations as well between the larger firms. Therefore, they are all having a very big upside potential. And on the other side, I would definitely look into companies who are able to use AI to increase their productivity levels, increase the value, and increase their margins overall by using AI in their day-to-day work.